Greetings and welcome back everyone. If you like these daily crypto analysis videos, hit the like button and subscribe. Please share these videos with your friends to help the channel grow. I'm Crypto Snake, back again to discuss some Bitcoin analysis. I'm going to start out on the daily chart. This time we are actually over on Binance, and if you don't know what's going on with the price discrepancy between Binance and Coinbase, there's a lot of Tether FUD going around. So the arbitrage bots are obviously not doing their job very well to keep the prices static between the exchanges. For the moment, we're going to look at Binance, which is obviously the more optimistic of the charts right now. And I'll take a look at Coinbase a little later in the video. If you've watched my previous videos, you do know that I have laid out a pennant on the daily for Bitcoin, which I do believe that is going to break out in a bullish formation. And it also matches the overall market cycle, which I laid out in depth in the previous video as well as other videos. But let's go ahead and zoom in on the daily chart. In the previous video, I did believe that a breakdown from the 6720, give or take, was very likely. We would break down with some heavy price movement down to the bottom of this pennant, which we did strike exactly to. And then we started an uptrend up towards the daily Kijun-sen. As I said, there is a separation between Binance and Coinbase. If we flip over to Coinbase really fast, you'll see that it obviously hasn't increased that much, but it is still moving bullish and it is holding the support on the lower pennant position. But flipping back to Binance, I did say that the price was very likely to come back to this daily Kijun-sen before potentially breaking down. However, as we come to the end of this pennant and the Kijun-sen is plateauing with the Tenkan-sen now rising, indicating a more bullish move, it is very likely that we could strike the top of this pennant position again up the 6520, give or take, depending on where we hit it, as this pennant restricts. Now, the entire market is still calling for a drop to 5800, and the fact that the entire market is calling for a drop to 5800 tells me that we are very unlikely to see a drop to 5800. And if you haven't watched my previous video on why I think 5800 is not going to be struck, you can go ahead and watch that if you want. But just to add on to that previous video, I do believe that the market cycle is still in play, and again, this is not the first time that we have struck through the lower pennant. We struck back through the lower pennant back in June, and depending on how you draw it, you could also see a couple other strike throughs on August. If we flip back to the Coinbase chart, you can see that this is not the first time that we've struck through the pennant. So when everyone says, oh, we broke the pennant, we struck at an entirely new low, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have broken out of the pennant completely, because we did actually break back up both on Coinbase and Binance, which is very bullish. It means that we've held support at the bottom pennant zone, indicating that we are likely to increase up from here. And the fact that we haven't seen a decline in the daily Kijun-sen is very bullish. But also to note is that we are posting bearish SARs. Now, as this range restricts, I'm expecting these SARs to not last much longer. As the price starts to increase, we may see some bullish SARs shortly, followed by maybe some more bearish SARs, followed finally by a nice pump out into the bull run as a breakout of this pennant position. The SAR indicator, which is the stop and reverse indicator, are these dots above or below the price, indicating either bullish or bearish movement. When they're moving down, they're moving in a bearish pattern. When they're moving up, they're in a bullish pattern. They don't actually have a set time frame of how many dots need to be posted, so they can actually start restricting and reducing in time. So it is possible to see multiple changes on the stop and reverse indicator as we push towards the end of this pennant target. I believe that the upper initial pennant target that we did respect is most likely the biggest resistance and will likely lead to the breakout. But I did lay out two other upper positions for the pennant target. But if we take a look at the distance from this current candle to the end of the pennant, and assuming we are going to break out of this, we could very well see a breakout into a bullish momentum or a pump in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Somewhere between 14 and 21 days. Now, normally when we do restrict into a pennant position, we don't actually get to the actual end of the pennant, so it actually could come sooner than that as well. Switching back to the Binance chart, if we take a look at where the Chigu span is right now, the Chigu span is actually within price and rising, which actually fits very well with this pennant position, because by the time it breaks the price, we will be up near the upper pennant now, where it could possibly break out of the price in a bearish momentum towards the bottom pennant target once more, before breaking out again. Now, I see it pull back to the daily Kijun-sen as being very likely on both charts. Also to note, which I've covered in the previous videos as well, is the potential short squeeze that we're going to be seeing on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I will cover that in this video very soon. It is very likely that this short squeeze could actually push us through the Kijun-sen and actually break us out of this pennant position. And I will be giving an update on that to my VIPs in real time. Down on the RSI, we did break the resistance at 40, and we're now breaking up into the next resistance area of 46. The RSI being the relative strength index, which is an indicator of when conditions are oversold or overbought. Bottom being oversold, indicating that the price will try to get back to the mean around the 50 area, and often it will strike up to the 70. So on the daily, we're still very, very low on the RSI, indicating we have a lot of room to grow. But before I get on with the rest of my technical analysis and lay out some price targets, If you'd like to join my free Telegram for insights on the market, including Bitcoin, altcoins, and a sneak peek to my personal entries and exits, join t.me/CryptoSnakePit. Links directly to the chat and a link on how to install Telegram, which is a free chat program used to communicate with my VIPs, in the description below. I've also launched my official Twitter, so follow me at CryptoSnakeVIP to get regular updates. And we've been pulling some savage gains in the VIP this month, and this week alone has been very lucrative on leverage trades and altcoins. I've given out a list of potentially discount altcoins I plan to ride for the bull run to my VIPs, which I believe is just around the corner, as well as some hot altcoin swing positions every week. If you want information on how to get into the VIP group to be part of these trades, the information is also in the description below. Now, as I laid out in the previous video as the smoking gun, I kind of want to get back to this elephant in the room, which is the Bitcoin shorts. Bitcoin shorts are the measurement of shorts betting against the market, betting that Bitcoin will go down. And with the entire market calling for 5,800, these shorts are now almost at an all-time high position. Normally when this happens, we do break down savagely. And when these shorts break down, it puts the exchange's money back into Bitcoin, which causes a massive, massive price increase. We are now nearing on the daily up to the 70 level on the RSI and nearing the all-time high up at almost 40,000 shorts. If we move down to the 4-hour chart on the Bitcoin shorts, you can see how overextended we are on the RSI at one of the highest points we've ever been, up at 84. I do believe a breakdown from this position is very, very likely and very, very soon. However, even sooner than that, I believe we're going to see a short squeeze on Ethereum. And if we go ahead and jump over to the Ethereum shorts, which is betting that Ethereum is going to go down, we have posted our second bearish SAR dot on the 4-hour chart, and we are still overextended. We broke down slightly here, which we're seeing in a relative pump position, down to the 70. But if we go to the daily chart, we've also started breaking down from that upper RSI position, indicating that a short squeeze is very likely to occur within the next couple of hours. And this breakdown will be absolutely savage and brutal because this is above the all-time high. This is the highest that Ethereum shorts have ever been, up at now 315,000. And if we head down to the Ethereum shorts hourly chart, you can see that we broke down into the hourly cloud, which normally doesn't occur until we're actually going to go for a very, very deep plunge. So I'm expecting some massive movements on Ethereum within the next couple of hours to push Ethereum in a very, very bullish direction. As for some price targets on that, we'll take a look over at Ethereum. Ethereum did see a lot of manipulation dumps here. The liquidation bots have been at play all day, just ranging us in this territory. But if we go to the daily chart, a break up to the daily Kijun-sen at 211 or so is very likely. This is based on Bitfinex's chart, and a possible test of 222 is in the cards as well, depending on the power of this short squeeze. And again, the short squeeze is the largest that we've seen on Ethereum. It's very possible that we could have a full trend reversal and even break up to the next resistance up at 270. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that is possibly in the cards. More likely is we are going to hit the first target at around 211, possibly 220. And just reinforcing this, we are on the bottom spectrum of the daily RSI, so we have a lot of room to grow on Ethereum as well, and we are heavily separated from the price. Currently, we are posting bearish SAR dots though, which makes this 235 level very, very heavy resistance. And moving down to the 4-hour chart, you can also see that we are overextended on the RSI. We are down in the oversold territory. As for some price targets on Bitcoin, depending on which chart you're looking at, I'm not sure exactly what effect Binance pumping up to the daily Kijun-sen before Coinbase will have. It is possible that this could cause Coinbase to just stay static and trade sideways in this position, or it may be affected by that Binance dump. I really can't say, as the price differential is now $160, which is absolutely insane, but I do expect a pump up to the 63.50 on Coinbase, and over on Binance, a pump up to the 64.50 is very likely. In fact, I would say it's probably more likely to hit this target on Binance. And if we take a look at the overall market health today, the market cap has barely moved. We're sitting at about 200 billion. We're sitting on that threshold, and it's kind of a monumental threshold. So it is good to be holding above that with support below Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance actually did skyrocket up about 2% from that dump, and these movements have affected the altcoin market. The altcoin market is all down around 2 to 3% today, with the exception of a few positions. We did manage to pull about 12% on KMD today, but it's very sparse and few between that are actually posting green. Most coins do follow Bitcoin when it goes for a dump, and today on Bitcoin we did actually have a little bit of a manipulation dump. There was a lot of money moved to the exchanges today, so somebody clearly wants us to get down to 5,800 and start market selling Bitcoin. Previous to this candle, we were actually moving in a bullish direction on the 4-hour and lower time frames, and we are posting bullish SAR dots, which indicates that the trend is moving in a bullish direction. The Chikou span is very likely to break the price, And if it does break the price in a bullish direction, I could see this pumping very, very quickly within the next 4 to 8 hours if we don't get our short squeeze by then as well. So that's it for today's technical analysis. If you do make any trades today, I wish you luck. Please join me in my free Telegram at t.me/CryptoSnakePit, where I give up-to-the-minute updates on Bitcoin and my personal exits and entries for the private VIP group. Also included is our private VIP chat, where you can chat with many of our experienced savage traders, get personal technical analysis from me, and answer any questions you might have. This is CryptoSnake, signing off.